Hey everybody, Master Toby Milroy here again, publisher for Martial Arts World News Magazine and frequent host for Martial Arts Business Innovations, the show we're watching today. And I'd like to ask you a personal favor if you wouldn't mind. If you wouldn't mind, please help us spread the word, right? Help us help more people in the martial arts industry, help more school operators and more instructors teach better classes, grow their business, build their brands, build their reach into their community by helping us share and like and subscribe and hit the notification bell on this video, right? It really sort of helps goose the Facebook algorithm or the YouTube algorithm and helps more people like you discover this content, discover our videos, and discover the type of content that we provide. So thanks so much. I really appreciate that. So hit like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell. And I'd love to see you. I'd be happy to see you and excited to see you at an upcoming live event. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Speak soon.
Welcome to Martial Arts Industry Innovations, presented by Martial Arts World News Magazine. Here, you'll get the latest news and information about the martial arts industry and discover the latest tools, tactics, innovations, business systems, teaching strategies, and much more to help you grow your school, career, or martial arts business. You'll also hear from some of the most successful school owners, innovators, instructors, industry influencers, and thought leaders in the world, sharing proven strategies and solutions to take your martial arts school or business to new heights. Join our mission at Martial Arts World News Magazine to raise the standards of martial arts business professionalism throughout the world.
The analogy that I've used a lot is, if you've ever sort of spent time with or lived with or whatever, spent a lot of time with someone who's either, let's say, lost or gained a fair amount of weight over some time, right? Well, you don't notice it day to day, right? You don't notice the little change day to day. But if the same person, if you haven't seen him for 4 months, then all of a sudden you see him at the airport, you're like, oh my God, John, you look great. Look, you lost 20 pounds. What happened? The same thing is true with confidence, focus, self-esteem, right? Indomitable spirit. All these things are incrementally improved on a daily basis. Parents don't see it day to day. They live with them, right?
Right.
The student doesn't even see it day to day. So you've got to make sure that you're the one underscoring and illustrating it day to day, because they don't notice. And if you forget to do it for 9 months, so I 100% agree with what you're saying. It's
that's why it's got to be built into your program.
100%.
In your teaching method. The way you teach. That's why I mentioned, Susie, turn your fist. That's the old way, because again, Korean instructors were limited in their language, so it wasn't like they could articulate to us, the value. And then American instructors just kind of copied that. And now, if you're aware of it and you're not doing it, then that's not good.
Yeah, we should know better. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Continue though.
Yeah. So basically, we follow that format. We teach them, of course, martial art techniques. Because in chapter 2, the mouse is in the school. He's watching a class now, so we can now kind of run like a little mini class. That's a thing. When instructors teach, they do an intro or a group intro. That's not the time to make sure they're perfect, their stances are perfect, and get old school on them, because that's turning people off, and that's a missed opportunity. Whereas, get the concepts across, have fun, show the value, and then when they come and they become a student, you can then start, tightening up on those details. But hitting them with all that detail right in the beginning, it just turns people off. And being a drill sergeant like that, in the old days, I was forgetting. I had the shinai. I'd walk around, man, and kids would they would hide my shinai. Well, that's a bamboo sword for those of you who don't know. And in Korean, we call it kamdo. So they would hide it, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, oh man, these kids. So then I went and bought a box of them. So. And then another would go missing, and then one day I'd find them. I'd find one under the mat and in the closet. And so I was old school with the kids, but now I'm at the point where they're motivated because of their respect for me, and who I am to them, not because I'm walking around with a stick banging it on the floor and scaring them. So motivation when it comes from the inside, not from the outside, then they're going to be in it for the long haul. So that's I think a key thing, and that's where storytelling, like with this, with the mouse, I think is great because it hits kids on it speaks their language to them, but in an indirect way. It's not like it's like some of the older people watching this might remember Schoolhouse Rock cartoons on television.
Still remember Bill on the Capitol Hill? Who doesn't remember Bill on the Capitol Hill?
Bill, I'm only a Bill. I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. I remember all of them.
100%.
And for those that don't know, these were animated cartoons that would teach things like the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, verbs, nouns, and they would do it in a melodic song with a really fun animation. And you would see this like repeatedly during the cartoon breaks. And man, I remember being in school and the Constitution came up on the test, and I'm like, and I'm going through the song, and I'm filling in the answers. So there's we want to always maintain a high quality, but if we can come and enhance our teaching methods and make the user experience better. It's like I'm big into memory, techniques like PEG system and so forth. And because I believe if you have a memory system, I'd rather have a memory system read something and apply the memory system and nail it in maybe 20 minutes than sit there and for 2 hours trying to memorize it by rote. And that's I think that's where we fall short nationwide with teaching public schools. We're not using memory systems and things like that. We're just trying to get kids to, repeat. And, there's value in repeating things. But, when you add a memory system and you memorize, things that you don't need to repeat that much, and that makes room to do the other stuff where you can get the repetitions in.
Well, it's one of the same. It's one of the same things that we learn, kind of like with concepts like rotating curriculum, right? Another good example is like our buddy Carlos Machado in jiu-jitsu, right? He applied some of our sort of tongsudo, taekwondo, karate do teaching methodologies to a very complex art in jiu-jitsu, where if you have an art like traditional Brazilian jiu-jitsu with no forms, no patterns, no sort of sequences, and you overlay, how hard is that to learn, right? It's just random. You just roll with people, and eventually you're a brown belt. Well, how does that work, right? But instead, if you have a pattern, if you can memorize, this leads to this, leads to this, leads to this, it just works a lot better for human psychology. We can remember things like that. We can't remember things for random things. Yeah. And now you know some implementation, some application, and it's a lot more entertaining, and you memorize it a lot faster. Why wouldn't you want the faster, better way to do it? It doesn't make any sense.
It's funny. Back in the old days, I remember we would spar, guys from other styles and so forth. Then we go out all out to eat after, and there was that, bond. But now it seems to be just the state of our times in the last couple of years, and I blame the politics on this, where they're pitting everyone against one another. Yeah. And that bleeds over into martial arts too. I had a laugh when MMA guys would make fun of jump kicks. Jump kicks don't work. The Korean guys, they used to knock people off horses with them. You heard that kind of crap. And all of a sudden somebody got knocked out with one. And now everybody went, whoa. And then all of a sudden everybody else started doing it, and it's like Shawnee Carter knocking out his opponent with a spinning back fist. They poo-pooed all of that. And all of a sudden now everybody's throwing spinning back fists. Yeah. So, it's like that, you get that one guy brave enough to not listen to that and do it. And then, show everyone else it can be done. And then, they follow. It's like the Jesse Owens thing. He ran fast and everybody else broke that record. Then everybody started breaking it. But up to that point, nobody did. So
it's 100% right. 100%. It's 100% right. So Budo, we've got it's a book and a slideshow. You've gotten that far, and obviously you mentioned along the way that, using this as a mechanism to penetrate elementary schools, school talks, things like this, the obvious fit there, right? How perfect is that?
Oh yeah.
So keep going on that track. So how do some of these pieces work together?
So basically, I mean, now it's an end to get into, because all you got to do is hand the book to a teacher and say, hey, take a look at this. Would you like me to come to your school, talk about, how to help your students focus better and be disciplined, and, read from the book and do an interactive, class with them. In the book, for example, I have in the back, how to meditate. And another thing called the Calm Palm. And then what lessons did you learn from Budo's adventure, for parents and teachers to go over. So they see this in the book, how to meditate, and they see the students make the mistakes and the instructor correct them and explain, no, that's not, what martial arts is about. The Calm Palm, I'll tell you a story about this. The Calm Palm basically, for everyone real quick, is, you hold your left hand, you take your finger, you trace your thumb, you breathe in as you go up, hold, breathe out as you go down. And just, there's more to it than that, but that's the basic gist of it. Then at the end of it, you close your hand and you say to yourself, I got this. So I taught this to my kids, in obviously more detail. And one of my Jewish students came to me the next day. And this was right after that horrendous attack on Israel. And now he said to me, sir, we had a lockdown drill in yeshiva. And I said, wow, what happened? He goes, well, I was really scared. Now I'm thinking to myself, wow, here's a kid. He's like 7 years old. And they're talking, the kids are going to talk about how, kids were tortured, killed, and women were just brutalized. And they're talking about this, and this kid's got this in his head, and suddenly they do a lockdown drill because they're afraid someone's going to come to go crazy. So he said, when the lockdown drill happened, they did the Calm Palm, and it really calmed me down. And man, I got choked up. I was like, it hit me how something that was such a simple thing, but this kid, in a moment of fear, did that. And I said, I'm onto something with this book that way. So then we have and here's, I think this is something that all instructors are going to like. I called it the 4 W's. Something I came up with in class. Sometimes when you teach in class, you kind of stream of consciousness, and then you say something and you rewind and say, hey, that was pretty damn good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
So that's how the 4 W's came up. So basically it's 4. So do it with me, Toby. Make a W with your fingers. All right, so this is, we call it the 4 W's. You'll find out what the fourth one is in a minute. So the first one is wisdom. So you use your wisdom. So you fold your ring finger down, and we got to be careful about the order we fold our finger. Okay, so we use our wisdom to avoid trouble, to, come up with clever ways to get out of trouble, maybe nonviolent ways if we can. And then the next W is use our words. So fold the middle finger down. And now we use our words. Sometimes that means we have to talk confidently. Sometimes we have to make a joke. Sometimes we have to be empathetic. We use our words. The last W is we walk away. So, we walk away, run away, escape. So you fold that down. Now, what do you got left? That's the 4th W, warrior. You better know how to use that better than the other person, because if not, you're in trouble. So when I show that to people and parents, they're like, yeah. Because, every parent says, I don't want you to start a fight in school, but, if you get hit, hit you on your back and I'll take you out for ice cream. Almost every parent I know says that.
Yeah.
How do you lay that out in a way that violence is the last option?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's such a simple way to do that.
Yeah. But by the way, I think, yeah, I think it. Well, I mean, we all would agree on this. We're all martial arts, operators and instructors. But I think one of the ways that I framed that over the years is that a student doesn't have to come to a martial arts class to learn how to kick and punch. Mm-hmm. All they have to do is turn on television and see that everywhere you look. Right? Where here it's about having more options than that. We have better options. We can escape. We can same exact philosophy.
You're confident enough to not fight.
That's right. That's right. If you don't have any options, that's all you know how to do. Yeah. Right. You've limited. Yeah, exactly right. Okay, very cool. So
that's part of that's in the book.
Yeah.
So when a teacher reads this, they go through this, and the instructor can follow up with the teacher, set up a date to come in. Some schools allow you to give promotional material, some don't. So you have to be kind of subtle in what you do, like give out bookmarks with your school website on it, things like that, which is perfect for this. So we have like blank bookmarks with the mouse that you can add your school address onto, and so forth. So this is great for assemblies, just simple book readings in public schools and stuff like that. So it's a real way to get in, because a lot of schools, when you say, hey, would you like me to come by and do a speech, sometimes there's that barrier of martial arts. I don't want kids kicking and punching each other in the hallway.
Yeah.
So by giving this out, they kind of know where we're headed with that.
Yeah, for years I used Leif Becker's Journey of the Steel Proof Master video. It was like I'm sure you saw it, but it was actually pretty well done. It won one of the kids' video movie awards one year, and it was pretty well done. But there were a couple of scenes in it that were a little on the scary side, so it wasn't exactly great. So I would skip that a little bit. But I don't see like, one of the things that you always want to be thinking about are what are the objections going to be, right? What are the objections that the administration might have or parents might have? So I think you've overcome all the objections I can think of here. It's a cute little character. It's a nonviolent thing. It's pretty clever, I think there's definitely some leverage there. I'd FedEx that thing to all the teachers in my area. I think this is something you want to go take action on this guy, right?
As I started working with Harry and Friends, boy, my complete 180, much better than I could deliver just by myself. Much better content.
Well, Harry is a godsend. Harry is like a virtual staff member.
The kids are just more excited. When it's time to do the mat chat, a lot of times it used to be verbal, but now we have the visual.
Right.
And they can relate to this guy.
We have been a long-time Harry and Friends customer with our little ninjas going on, we think, around 10 years now.
How many schools do you guys have that are using Harry and Friends? 5 schools. Excellent. And how do the kids react? How do the parents react?
They love it.
Harry is a big part of our We Warriors program. Kids love him. They will do things that he says that won't do if we tell them to, and they definitely won't do it if their parents tell them to. Makes the parents a little jealous, but they love him too. Check it out, guys. You got to do Harry and Friends.
Okay, everybody. Where is Harry today? It's great. At Martial Arts.
Do you feel like you're getting crushed under the tremendous weight of managing your martial arts school? Crawl out from beneath the burden and reach your potential. Lighten the load and let Atlas Martial Arts Software do the heavy lifting. Visit tryatlassoftware.com to see for yourself and get 7 free gifts valued at over $400.
Check out the latest issue of Martial Arts World News Magazine, the industry trade journal for martial arts school owners and instructors at mawnews.com. And now, back to our show.
Absolutely.
What about internal to the school? How are you using this sort of internally, like referrals and revenue and things like this?
The kids love this, concept, and it's a fun thing. So, one of the things we do every month, I have these little stickers of a mouse hole with a little mouse peeking out, little things, and I stick them around the school. And there's like 5 of them, and the kids have to find them, and I move them around every month. And when they find them, I give them a coloring page to color, and then bring back to the student. We take a picture of it, we post it on our website. So there's that little, fun thing that, it's March 1st. I'm on the hunt.
Where's Budo?
Yeah, exactly. Of course, teaching the lessons in class. How often, instructors have the kids sitting and meditating, right? I'm taking my glass over there, meditating, and all of a sudden you got one kid doing this.
Yeah.
Eye open, and you're like, close your eyes. And so now you could say, well, remember the girl in the story? She did that. And was that good that she did that? No. Right. And because she got distracted later on. Right. So you want to keep your eyes closed like the mouse did. Right. And so you can, do callbacks during that. I love my kids coming to me saying, I'm up to chapter 4. I'm up to chapter 5, and and when's it? And then now the biggest thing is, when's the next one coming out?
Yeah.
So the next one's going to be, in the later half of this year. But there's already a sequel, in the works. There's activity books. I don't have one here because we sold out of them. But the activity books are complementary to this, and they're consumables. So, the kids will read a book, and sometimes they'll read it again and again and again. But an activity book, there's coloring, but they're all SEL, social emotional learning orientated things, where they're done in a way where it doesn't hit the kid over the head. For example, we have a thing called the mind garden, where it's a picture they color with different things, and it has a saying in it: my mind is a garden, my thoughts are like seeds. I can plant flowers or I can plant weeds. So what would be a positive thought? And they would write a positive thought in the flower in the garden. What would be a weed, a negative thought? And you're in control of your own mind garden. So there's things like that in the activity book. There's, word searches, but all the words are things that parents want their kids to learn. There's crosswords, so it's good for younger and older, because the younger ones just, color away.
Yeah.
There's some games in it. There's some, little crafty things. And, I plan on making various activity books too. That's unlimited potential for that. So, for studio owners, there's a lot of potential for them to, give away and sell, activity books, not just the books, getting into public schools, doing parent night outs.
Yeah, the P&Os you were saying something about earlier, yeah.
Yeah, well, the P&O is just the same format I do when I do a book sign.
Yeah.
I do the video, I do the class, we do the interactive games. Because there's a snake character in it, I take a green belt, I make it look like a snake, and then, it's whirl it around, jump, run past it. I mean, you've got all of those things you can tie it into. One of the things we do, which is really fun, and these are, see, as adults, here's the thing. We don't see the value sometimes in like a sticker. A kid gets a sticker and it can make their day.
Oh yeah.
You give me a sticker, I'm like, oh, gee, I want a sticker. So kids will come to me, Mr. Segarra, you want a sticker here? Pick a sticker from my sticker sheet. So I'm like, oh, gee, thank you. Like, I got stickers in my office now. So we don't remember that, and it's so important. It's those little things. So one of the silly little things we did is I take a yellow sponge, I cut it up into small squares, and it's cheese. We call it cheese. And, we hide 20 pieces around the school, and we say, okay, go find them, right? You get a point for every one you find, and the kids are now looking around. It's like an Easter egg hunt. But they love things like that. Kids love that, finding things, looking for things, spotting the difference. Yeah. So there's so much potential on a parent night out, and every time, and you got the book, you've got activity books, so you can run a couple parent night outs. The kids are asking me, when's the next one? Right after the end of the first one. So that just goes to show you, and a lot of times, we wear out parent night outs. I mean, how many can you run in a year? And, and then you got to watch out. Some studios do Star Wars night. You don't want Disney. As much as I love Disney, you don't want Disney coming after you on a Star Wars night.
Yeah. Do not tread on Disney trademarks.
No.
I mean, the martial arts industry is a plagiaristic, copyright violating cesspool of intellectual property theft.
Was that line from Star Wars? Bar.
Yeah.
Despicable place of villainy.
Yeah. We are horrible at this, but just do yourself a favor. Don't do anything Disney. just do yourself this favor. This is a thing. So
and give credit. That's another thing.
Yeah,
a lot of martial arts they don't credit when they get something to somebody. Pay it forward. Pay it backward.
Yeah.
Show your respect to the people you learn from, because you're setting that example. For your students. I have all my teachers' pictures in my studio. And I will be quick to tell you, my positive experiences with all my instructors. And, I think that's so important, because martial artists, sometimes we see, and the problem with a lot of this is YouTube learners. They'll get a drill, I'll do a drill on YouTube, and then I'll see somebody else put that drill up, and they'll say, oh yeah, we do that drill in my class all the time. I'm like, oh no, I know you. No, you don't. you saw my video and now you're doing that drill. At least give credit. So I mean, I think that's just a honesty and integrity, the things we teach, but not everybody. I had a competitor that every time I put a YouTube up, man, the video up, the guy would have a YouTube up a couple days after trying to do what I did. If I did triple kick, he tried to do a triple kick. And it was just, I had to laugh because it's flattering, but what harm is it to say, hey, Master so and so did a great drill. We're gonna do that. I learned it, from watching him, and now I want to do this in class because that's how you learn. You got to empty your cup.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we're not good at that. There are definitely a few. I mean, it's a long story, but
Steve on my mug says, "Empty your cup."
I love it. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. So, all right. So we've got. So talk to me a little bit about. So if I'm a school, obviously my opportunities are kind of basically start with I've got the book. I use it in class as a teaching device. I've got slides and things like that I can use to sort of augment the presentation and do all that. There's a retail opportunity there too. I can sell the books, right? I can buy these at wholesale and stuff. Is that walk me through all the sort of monetization opportunities?
I'm going to offer. Well, I'm launching an instructors program in April. I just want to get everything dialed in. So instructors will be able to get the book at a substantial discount. I don't make a lot of money on books. You make money on books by saying volume.
Yeah.
So, but I use the book as a way to bring students into the school, a way to keep my students that are in the school happier. To me, that's the value of the book. If I make $3-4 on a book, that's a lot. I mean, between trademark, copywriting the character and all the different things, hiring 3D sculptors to sculpt a 3D model of the, I'm into this, I'm not making any money at this point yet, but, I use it in my studio to enhance our program, to reach out and show that we're more than just punching and kicking, and, to just have a fun experience for the kids in the school. But yeah, instructors will be able to buy it at a discount. There's merch and stuff that I'm working on, figuring out how to get instructors a discount on that as well. There'll be iron-ons, so one of the things I'm doing is I've loved technology, and I was very fortunate to I was into VR before anyone even really knew what VR was. I have headsets from the 80s that look like a spaghetti strainer with wires sticking out of it, and I literally had that in my closet. It's like some kind of steampunk contraption. So VR came out, virtual reality came out years ago, but it didn't take off because everyone was concerned about changing the helmets, wearing the headsets and passing it on to someone else and getting all kinds of biohazards on their heads. So that's why it didn't take off back then. Then Facebook, then now Meta, had bought out a company that was really bringing it back, and they came out with the MetaQuest 1, MetaQuest 2, and now the MetaQuest 3, which is phenomenal. So they invited me to be a beta tester on a software to build worlds. So I literally built the first virtual martial art dojang in the metaverse. You can type that in, first martial art dojang in the metaverse, you'll see me come up. I built a 1:1 scale, so you can put a VR headset on and walk into my school and walk around, hit the bags interact. There's a meditation section where it guides you through meditation. And, the graphics aren't fantastic yet because the technology is catching up, but they're getting there. So, this is another thing my students, it's just another thing for them where they, they can get in there, and then someone in another side of the world can hold pads for them while they're punching pads. It's crazy. And again, it's martial artists are slow to jump on this, but their students are getting on it.
Yeah.
And, Korean martial arts, I have to say, they really embrace technology very quickly. I've seen some great stuff, especially with Taekwondo practitioners, where they're, force sensors on bags, and they've even got some pretty cool augmented reality stuff where an instructor is like right in front of you and you follow along, and do it. one of the Taekwondo organizations came out with that. And I love that. I think that's a great use of technology. Think about this. If, we're teaching a self-defense course, for example, because the NYPD, when I work with them, they're trying to embrace this technology too. You can have a kid and you can do role playing with a child about stranger danger, or you can put that headset on and actually have a character interact with them and see how they respond and adjust how comfortable, uncomfortable it is. This technology can really, you put on a headset and now you're outside.
Yeah.
Instead of taking a whole class outside in an alleyway and working on that. And then you take it off and you can drill in class. So there's a lot of potential here.
Hey son, let's do something different this weekend. How about we take in a museum?
Yeah, that sounds good.
We could learn about the samurai. Yeah! Or how about the Hawaiian Lua warriors? Ooh, the mighty sumo! Hey, how about the Martial Arts History Museum? That way we can learn about them all.
Yeah, that sounds great.
There are two kinds of people in the world, the learned and the learner. The learned are done learning and cannot see any more to gain. The learner continues to learn and grows exponentially. Martial Arts Business Institute is a place where learners come to grow. Stay informed while on the go with daily news in the Martial Arts World News Magazine mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Find us in your app store. And now, back to our show.
So then I started segueing into augmented reality. So augmented reality is where you would use your camera or augmented glasses, which that technology is going to really kick off this year and going into next year, where you look with your phone, tablet, smart glasses, headset, and you will look at an object and an animated thing would pop up. Or video would play. If you're looking at a magazine, the picture of the person will start talking to you. So that's augmented reality. So one of the things that we're doing with this, and what are some of the problems we have to solve as instructors? Well, one of them is, especially when you get to Dan level, you've got a year gap between like first Dan, second Dan, or 2 year gap, depending on your organization. And, there's no belts. So what do you do? Patches? How do you have a progression system? So what I came up with, what I call the master's wheel, and basically it's values, 12 values that are monthly values. So for example, the first one is peace, right? In Korean we call Pyong, and in that month, week 1, they learn how to do a simple meditation. They practice it 5 minutes a day. Their parent signs off on it. Then they got week 1 done. Week 2, we teach them the calm palm. Week 3, and they have to practice it every day. And the parent signs off on it. Week 3, they have to time themselves how long they can stand on one foot, their right foot, then their left foot, to understand balance. And we talk about why it's important to have balance in your life. But standing on one foot is something everyone can do. But how long can you do it? And then to see and have them write down how long they can do it, and say, see, at the end of the week with practice, they can do it longer now. So they go through 4 weeks of these kind of things, and then they get a sticker to put in a sticker book. So it would be like the book here, it would be a sticker book, and then basically they'd have this, master's wheel, and they put the sticker on it. But the sticker then, when they look at it with a smartphone, the mouse will pop up and talk to them. And if it's about meditation, it'll do, it'll guide them through a meditation. If it's about discipline, or it could just be a 3D model that the kids can twirl around. It's a collectible.
That's cool. Yeah.
But it's a progression system. So this is the master's wheel plaque. So basically they can have a sticker book or upgrade to a plaque, and the plaque hangs on the wall. And then every month they take after they're done playing with it, or they want to take it back out, they can, and they pop it in here. And then they work their way around the plaque. And then at the end of it, the whole plaque augments into a super cool, animation. So it solves a problem of, a progressive system. It's a callback to the values and reinforcement of the values that we're teaching. And it's showing kids, hey, we're cool. We got technology. And and kids, and they love playing with this stuff. I mean, I have posters. I have Budo the Mouse poster in my school. When you go up to it with your camera, the mouse comes out, waves to you. And I have people with their smartphone going around. I have QR.
Fantastic. Yeah.
See, here's another thing. I did this before all of this. QR codes. Everybody knows what they are. I have them on all my photos.
Yeah.
Except in the hallway. I don't want people stopping on the staircase. But when they're in the lobby, I have a QR code. So if there's a picture of me and Chuck Norris, you look at the QR code, and then there's a whole YouTube thing of Chuck Norris fight scenes and and the cool stuff. Cynthia Rothrock. Then there's a QR code with Cynthia, doing some amazing fight scenes. Cynthia's a Tongso practitioner, if some of you guys don't know that. And of course, Kung Fu later on. But so any pictures like that, Huang Zhongli, one of my instructors, he was the evil master in Drunken Master, fighting Jackie Chan. One of my highlights of my martial arts of my life was Huang Zhongli coming to my school, promoting me, and then sitting in my office and him and I watching him Jackie Chan, and he's telling me, I knocked Jackie Chan's tooth out in the room, you can see. And then he sure enough, like later on they put his tooth back and then they colored it with a black crayon, and we're laughing, and I've got it on film, it's on my YouTube. I'm lucky, in that, but I have these QR codes, so they go with the camera, and they can, and it takes it a step further. So
That's
it's
very
like,
cool. Yeah.
Has a thing. I've never seen it, but I know of it. It's some kind of remote control. You walk around and you hit buttons, and some things animate in store windows. They're like secret missions. You go, it's a Kim Possible.
Yeah.
It was a Kim Possible thing where she was a secret agent, and you got this little secret agent thing, and you walked around Disney, and it told you what the next mission was to go to, and it made the whole thing an adventure. So, this stuff can be scavenger hunts and all kinds of things. So the augmented reality is a really cool thing, and that's we're kicking that off in April. We have the website, The Warrior's Wheel. It's not tuned up perfectly yet, so forgive me. It's not up to my super quality standards. But if people go to thewarriorswheel.com and input their email, they'll get on my mailing list. And I will also give them a gift of how to use AI course that I, PDF I put together, which I sell for $30, which has a ton of stuff in it. And for studio owners and that aren't caught up with AI yet, or artificial intelligence, or are a little bit, or even experience at it, there's stuff in there that you can really get out of, and I'd be happy to give that for free. You just got to go on there, punch your name in the email list, and then I'll send that out to everybody.
So the warriorswheel.com. Yeah.
Warriors Wheel. Yeah. Warriors Wheel.
AI is definitely something. I mean, I get the reticence and hesitation that people have,
Sure.
in martial arts, like, how am I going to use this in my martial arts school? Right. But just start with it, just ask questions, right? And see what the thing can come up with. And when it comes to editorial, writing things, now you have to prompt it correctly and things like this.
Right.
But there's really some power there for all of us. Really some shortcuts.
If anyone takes anything away from this, I'm going to say this and remember this. AI will turn you from a one-man show to a one-man army.
Yeah.
Again, one-man show to a one-man army. Your productivity will skyrocket with AI. You think you wrote something good, run it through AI and watch how much better it kicks it out. You're writing a blog post. Listen, I had a picture of a kid who lost her tooth. She came into class and said, "Mr. Guy, I lost my tooth. Look." And so I took a picture with her like this. And then I wrote a cute caption. I said, you know what? Let me run this through AI. And AI wrote this hilarious caption and then hashtagged it, The Toothless Warrior. And it was hilarious. And it got so many more views than my little, hey, look who lost her tooth. She didn't lose it in class. LOL.
Yeah.
and it put the emojis in, the hashtags, and I was like, wow. So yeah, and one of the things I use AI for, which is mind blowing, is I took my book and I said, okay, AI, read this. Now, AI, you are Budo the mouse. You are the character. Respond to me as Budo from this point on. And I have freaking conversations with my character. It's come to life now, and it's hilarious. You know, I'll say, hey, Budo, you know, what's your favorite cheese? Oh, I like Gouda. But he'll go on to a whole rant about cheese, and he's a cheese connoisseur. He'll say, what's your favorite cheese? Oh, I like mozzarella. Ooh, mozzarella is good. But it's a little hard to get over here in Japan. You know, and I love it, you know, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's definitely a productivity multiplier. And like, you know, there are different benefits in different sectors, right? I mean, obviously, one of the things we do here is technology and software, and you know, we have all of our engineers and things like that are now using Copilot for GitHub and things like this. And right now, like the code output, and again, this is just one limited sector, so I'll circle back, but just in that area, our you know, numbers of lines per code per day has gone up by 300%, right? Because they can write a little bit of code and have, you know, Copilot fill in the gap, so to speak, write test cases against that code. That's all time-consuming stuff that you have to do, but it's perfunctory. It doesn't take a lot of creativity. Now, there's one warning, you know, for people who are thinking about this, right? People who are new to this. You know, Google has indicated that they can detect AI-generated content and will not give it organic SEO credit, but there's ways to prompt AI correctly that it's more organic looking. So don't just think, you know, don't say, hey, go write me 5 SEO dense articles that I'm going to.
It's not a crutch. That's the thing. It's not a crutch. Use it as a crutch. Then it's not going to work well.
Yeah,
because
nice.
You get caught.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, listen, it's like self-promotion, you know. You see these websites with some of these guys from, you know, on the other side of the earth, you know, I'm a master, and they got 20 different arts, you know, and then somebody calls them out on it, and, you know, they wind up on one of these, you know, bullshito sites and stuff.
You
know, it's not a crutch, you know, it's an enhancement to your creativity.
Huge lever, huge lever.
That way, man, the sky's the limit. It really is. And it's just amazing technology. And I mean, I can't keep up with how much, you know, the different ways I can apply it.
One definition of presence is to have an impressive manner or appearance. So, does your martial arts school website have presence, or does it just go unnoticed? Amazing martial arts websites have that presence you need to fill your school.
If you're a martial arts school owner who'd love to double or triple your revenue, add 100 or more new students to your school, don't miss your chance. This is the biggest opportunity. Join us now.
Hello, I'm Jan Lappin from Middleburg Martial Arts, and we have been with the group for many years. It's been wonderful. It's helped us so much. I think when we originally started, we were in the 40s. We're in the 70s now. We're looking at doing $1 million this year. And the best part of it all for me is we're doing this while we're helping people.
Hi there, Stephen Oliver here. I hope you found valuable the success story you've been watching of one of our top members. I'd like to share with you a bunch of more information about how you can grow your school. We have a special free report, 7 things that school owners do to shoot themselves in the foot. I welcome you to click the link here below or call my office now. You can call Bob Dunn at 720-256-0208.
Of course, you have to get paid to keep your business afloat, but you probably don't enjoy the process of collecting funds from your students. In fact, school owners hate collecting bills and to have to be a bill collector. Your role should be that of a trusted expert, mentor, and role model, not a collection agent. Let AMS Billing help by taking the burden off your shoulders to ensure that you maintain a quality and sacred relationship with your students. Your students deserve the service. You deserve the peace of mind.
Check out the latest issue of Martial Arts World News Magazine, the industry trade journal for martial arts school owners and instructors at mawnews.com. And now, back to our show.
Yeah. Well, and this isn't going to stop. So just yesterday, I think there was a conference in Europe, and the statistics were something like AI chip capacity. So the GPUs from NVIDIA, basically, the demand is tenfolding every 6 months.
Yeah.
So the next problem we have is step-down transformer constraints. We can't generate enough step-down transformers to supply enough electricity to these chips. After that, we're going to have electricity problems, because the curve on this is astronomical. It's not
that's
exponential.
when they plug this into the matrix and use this as human batteries.
Come on. I mean, it's coming. It's coming. Okay, awesome. So people are going to go to thewarriorswheel.com, or they're going to go to budothemouse.com, right? And can they order the books yet, or where are we at?
If you go to budothemouse.com, you can order the books. We're launching the instructors program, so they're not. If you're a studio owner, that you can contact me. Through my email. I'll give it to Toby, and you can reach out to me if you really want to jump on before I launch everything in April. But I'm working out the discounts, because there's so much you can only charge for the book. And then then there's whatever the cost of the book is, and then what's left is for me, the instructor, to split.
You got to ship it.
So,
this is no joke.
But the idea is to show people how to use it to make students happier, get into programs outside their school, and things like that. That's where the value skyrockets. With this program in the book.
Yeah, to me, that's like action item number one is write a little lift letter with your photo on it, shove it on top of the book, FedEx that package out to all the elementary school teachers, PE teachers, guidance counselors in your districts, and then show up the next day with one in your hand, to give it to them and talk to them about the program that you can do, in their classroom. So, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of yeses to get that to really pay off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Anything else that we should talk through? We talked about the tokens, very cool, right? Anything else that we should walk through before we call it a day?
I think we covered quite a bit. I think there was a lot of nuggets, riffing back and forth with for people to get your notepads out, watch it again, take notes, always take notes. My advice to everybody is, especially if you're independent, get a mentor, get a coach, grow your network. It's so important that you, deal with people that know more, know what you don't know. So I know what I don't know, and I go to people that know more so I can learn from them, whether you get into a coaching program, Mike Perella's got a great coaching program. Atlas, you guys do some killer websites.
We work with a lot of schools.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I saw some of your websites, and man, I was like, nice.
Some are not
My mind is dialed in so much now that I get
it. No, it's not for everybody, but it saves a lot of work.
One of the uses of AI now, and you got a lot of instructors going, and consultants going, oh, AI. If you use it the wrong way, I agree, not good. It can't replace you, but it can enhance you. One of the things that technologies that I'm using is, and I don't want to give my website because I don't want everybody coming on my website and trying to, flood my website just to test out my technology. But I have a video of me popping up. It's a transparent video. I come out, I welcome you to the website. Then I have a chat bot. The chat bot, you type your name into it, it asks you questions. And then it sends you out a video of me saying, hi, Toby, thank you so much for your, for your information and, blah, blah, blah. And here's a free, guide to our, martial arts school. And I'm not saying it. AI is just, animating a mouth over me saying Toby. So at 3:00 in the morning, I don't have to get up, put my uniform on, and then make a video for Toby. It's stuff like that I think. And then, of course, the next day, we're on the phone following up, with that person. but I mean, that kind of stuff is really cool because you're now sending them a personal thing. Everyone loves to hear their name.
Yeah.
You're sending them a personal thing that they're saying, wow, man, this guy 3 o'clock in the morning is making a video.
What's this all about? Yeah.
Well, you can set a delay for it. You can set it to send it off at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. That's the smart thing.
Yeah. Which by the way is another Disney has been doing that for a while with families that buy like a big vacation package or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can add on as an additional fee where Mickey sends you a video. And you watch it on like Netflix or something. I don't know how you watch it, but you go to the website, I guess, and it says, the family's name, and we're looking forward to seeing you, little Johnny, at Magic Kingdom in July or something like that.
Phenomenal.
I mean, come on, it costs $0 for them to do that.
Fantastic.
And it's fantastic. I mean, Mickey just said hello to me. How long does that memory last? Right. I mean, come on, that's insane.
Well, see, years ago, you got people were using Disney Dojo as a negative thing, or Mick Dojo as a negative thing. And it could be, it could be that if all you're doing is when kids come in, playing around and they're not giving any value, then they're not coming back. I'm teaching generations now. I have kids of the kids that I taught coming back to me with their kids, and that means they got value. So, I look at a Disney Dojo as a place that's got their act together, that is constantly, their compass point is pointing in the right direction, give value to the students, teach quality, and is always looking to improve their game. Now, Disney may have gotten off track with that, sliding. I hope they get back on track, but that doesn't mean, I'm going with old Walt, philosophy of, and he said it all started with a mouse, man. Same thing with Mick Dojos. I mean, you make fun of McDonald's, they're laughing all the way to the bank. So what can we take from that, and what can we say? That's not a good fit. It's not flipping burgers like in your school, but you can turn around and say, well, look at their process. Look how they streamline their process. Look how they're consistent quality, whether you like it or not. It's consistent. So it's those kind of things. A great movie to watch is that one about what was the name of it? It was about Ray Kroc with McDonald's.
The founder.
The founder.
It was based on the same book. The book is fantastic.
Yeah.
The book is fantastic.
Great movie. But it just showed you how here was a guy that was selling I think it was vacuum cleaners or something.
Shake machines.
Shake machines.
Yeah.
And he came across this one little store that the guy was OCD like crazy, and he had everything systemized, and everybody was lining up because of the quality. In Korean martial arts, a lot with standardization, quality. So it's there. It's just sometimes when we see it, and somebody says, "Oh, McDojo," and it's, "Oh yeah, McDojo," and you kind of like follow along with that. It's a negative thing. It could be anything. Could be negative. Anything could be negative.
But there could be value there too. There could be lessons to be learned.
Well, that's the smart entrepreneur, the smart studio owner. They, see that, and they look at that, and they embrace what works. Like Bruce Lee said, absorb what's useful, reject what's useless, and that's some great business advice from the man.
I think it's 100% right. Yeah, we should all pay more attention to Bruce. There's no question about it. Well, Dan, listen, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Budo the Mouse is very cool. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, we got to talk about this because this is pretty interesting. The augmented reality components of it, I think, are really brilliant. And well, first of all, no one else is really doing things like that right now. There's a very, very small number of of options that are like that. And the more we can make our programs entertaining and engaging in an edutainment environment, especially with kids, I don't know. I think adults kind of think it's cool too. We're going to
work on a teen adult version of it as well.
Listen, again, like I said, we're big fans of Disney, and I got to tell you, I can't tell you the number of we're at Galaxy's Edge, and the number of 29 to 59-year-old adults that are going all around the park scanning all the code. And I'm not going to, I never said this, but I might be one of them. Scanning all the little things.
Nerd.
Right? It's, or they're doing the bounty hunter thing and they caught the Dubak or whatever on their watch and they scan it to get and I might be one of them, but it's engaging for everybody. So I think it's very
Life's
cool.
too short. Have fun.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Why not? Yeah, I think it's fantastic. So
absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with having fun while you're training.
Yeah.
As long as you're, it doesn't take you off the path of doing training well. I mean, if you, when you get into that flow, I mean, the flow, we've all experienced, those classes where it just flowed, and we got into the zone, that masterful state. I mean, that's where it's about. We spend more time out of that than in it. We need to practice being more in it than out of it.
100%. You're going to learn and retain a lot more when you're happier, when you're having fun, when you're entertained. Is brilliant. So, but thank you for that contribution. I really appreciate it. And again, we want everybody to visit thewarriorswheel.com, and they can download you'll send them your free AI report. And Budo the Mouse is where budothemouse.com is where we can get information about the book.
And they can kind of get a taste of, where they could go with it as well.
Yeah, might be a little early, but this is the first step. We'll be able to get the book in-house. We'll be able to ship it to all the elementary school teachers. We'll be able to get people engaged in what we're doing. And then as follow-on stuff helps to augment that, we'll have more options there. So
absolutely.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you again so much.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. We'll speak again very soon.
This has been a Martial Arts Industry Innovations production, presented by Martial Arts World News Magazine.